Hello, team. Mr. Delosa back here again with you. So, still have the COVID. Looks like I won't be coming back to work tomorrow or Friday at this point. Have to wait till next week. But I want to keep things moving. I don't want to lose time because time is in limited supply and we have lots of good things to do. So, I'm just going to continue on with writing G code, and we're going to go through just a really short presentation here. So I'm not actually going to have you guys type out some G code of your own to write a program. So before we get started, we're going to want to make sure we have a few things set up before we actually try to run our program. And we're going to do this for pretty much every program that we write in this fashion. Anytime we write a program manually, we're typing out the G code, there's some stuff that needs to go at the top. Hang on one second. Somebody's knocking on my door. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Must have been a ghost. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. Putting the first couple of codes in at the top of our program. So we got to tell the machine the units to work offset, what tool we're going to use. We might have a tool description. I copied and pasted this off of another program. We're going to be using a Sharpie, so we should put tool description, Sharpie, put the diameter. We'll actually have to measure it, so I'm not going to be able to fill in the diameter for this demo because I don't have. Oh, I lied to you. I do have a Sharpie. I have a Sharpie and a caliper right here. Okay, look at that. So we'll be able to actually put that in there. And for our RPM, we can put 0, and we're going to do 10 inches a minute on feed rate because I want to give you guys plenty of time when these programs are actually running on the machine. I want you to be able to have time to react and stop the machine if it's about to do something you don't want it to do. So we're going to go nice and slow starting out here. Okay, as you get more experience and you get more confidence, then we can speed things up. Okay, so the start of our program is going to have these commands in it to start off with. I've put 6 different lines here. So number 1 is going to tell the machine that we're working in the XY plane and using absolute distance mode. G20 is going to tell the machine we're going to work in inches. G54 is going to tell it which work offset to use. Work offset G54. That's pretty much standard. We're always going to use that. G30 will then have the machine go to a preset location, raise all the way up before it does any other moves. Then we're going to tell it tool 2. M6 tells it to do a tool change. G43 says use the apply a tool offset, and then H2 tells it which tool length offset it's going to be applying. The 2 has to match, right? H2, T2, right? It doesn't matter really what number you put here. In our class, 1 is reserved for the face mill, and 10 is reserved for the probe. So don't use 10 and don't use 1. Any other number you want to use really doesn't matter. What does matter is that you have the same number right here as you have, right over here where it says H2. One other thing to keep in mind when it comes to selecting a tool number here, you could technically use tool 5671, and then when you go to put this in the machine, you're going to have to scroll all the way down to tool 5671. I don't actually think it'll go that far, but you get the idea. All right, so use the lowest number possible so you don't have to scroll through pages and pages and pages, because you do have to put the information in the machine in the correct row. All right, so don't use any higher numbers than are strictly necessary. So if you're doing only using one tool, which we are right now, we're just using a marker, that tool can go in tool number 2. Again, because 1 is reserved. 1 is always our shell mill. Okay, we're not going to use that. So our machine should have a work coordinate system G54 set to be the bottom left corner on the top surface. Okay, so you can kind of see what I did right over here. Let me get my rectangle out. You can see I drew my origin right there. Okay, and then I drew out my hashtag here. All right, and then I planned out my steps after I made everywhere I had a point where there was an end of a line or an intersection. I labeled the X and Y coordinates for all of these, and then I actually went and wrote out the steps so that I could plan through how I was going to make this work. Right, so I'm going to do a rapid move over to 0, 1. Okay, so 0, 1 is, let's see if I can get my laser pointer option here. Nope. Maybe. Let's see. Pen. Stickers. Oh, I could do stickers. Let's put this little, let's put this guy. Here we go. All right, so here's 0.1. I'm going to rapid there. Then I'm going to drop my pen down so it touches the paper. And then I'm going to use G1 to move at my set feed rate over here to 3-1. Then I have to raise the pen up off the paper. All right, and I'm going to wrap it up to 0.2. Pen down, move across to there, pen up. All right, then I'm going to rapid to 1.3. That's up here, right, and draw a line all the way down to here. I should have used different stickers. I'm just having fun with this. Let me clear the screen. Go back. So look at that. Right. It doesn't really matter what order you draw these lines in. I decided to go the 2 horizontals and then the 2 vertical. Okay. What really does matter is that you lower the pen, use your G1 command, raise the pen up, and then use G0, right, rapids, to get when the pen's not on the paper. At the end of the program, you want to command it to go to G28. All right, and that'll be the end of our program. Clear my screen off. And then the next thing I'm going to do, so I want you guys to actually pause right here. And I want you to copy this sketch that I've made. I want you to go through the exercise of writing it down. I know, how boring. Oh my gosh. Write it down. Write down the steps, because I'm going to walk you through programming it, and then I'm going to give you something to program all on your own, and you're going to have to figure it out. And I promise you, if you don't write it out on paper, you will be stuck for a long time. Okay, so let's go over to Google Docs. Hit the escape button here. Go just open up a new Google Doc, and just open up a fresh blank doc, and I will call this hashtag G code. Hashtag, oops, I like capital letters. Hashtag G hyphen code, G code. All right, so there's my hashtag G code. Okay. Then let me pause this for a second. Okay, so now that I've named my file, I am ready to start typing. So I'm going to literally, from that presentation, copy and paste. Oops, try again. Correct. Oh, that was from something else. Okay, where did my presentation go? Let me go close my... Too many windows open here. Give me a sec. Let me Control A, copy that. Come over here. Control Shift, paste it there. There we go. So, all right, this is just my header. Units, inches, work offset 54, tool number tool, Man. Tool number 2. There we go. Tool number 2. Description. Sharpie. The diameter is, so let me take my Sharpie. I'm going to take the cap off my Sharpie and measure the diameter at the tip. Come on, turn on. Oh, my caliper doesn't want to turn on. What the heck? What? This thing's brand new. How can the battery be dead? Plus or minus thousands. Battery. Really? Okay, maybe I'm not going to measure the diameter of my Sharpie because my brand new caliper seems to have a dead battery. I'll tell you what, I'm going to use my scale. Hang on a second. I have another possibility. I'm going to say the diameter of my Sharpie is about 100 thou at the tip. Good enough, so I'm going to say it's 0. Take out my question marks here. Say 1. Don't need the word measure in there anymore. Sharpie, diameter, this. All right. Tool, diameter, again, is 0.1 inches. 0.1. Spindle RPM, going to be set to 0. All right, because I don't need to spin my marker. I'm doing writing. All right, later you guys are going to be drilling holes, and you will need to you'll need to do a thing, do a RPM there so that you can actually cut. But for writing, we don't need to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over to my PowerPoint presentation, which you guys can look up in Google Classroom, by the way, if you want to save yourselves some time. And then I'm going to cut and paste all these other G codes that I need. Let's say, pop those in right there. G17, just for the sake of being uniform. I don't know why these two codes are all in one line and the rest of them are on separate lines. So I'm going to separate those. Then I'm going to say XY plane like this. Control X. Go up here. Parentheses. You must use parentheses. If you don't, you will end up with errors. Because parentheses, the machine will know, hey, that's a comment. I can ignore whatever's in there. Otherwise, it's going to see the letters X and Y and say, hey, what's going on? I'm trying to go to X, Y. I don't understand plane. That's not a number, right? So, parentheses, comments. When you guys give me your programs, I'm going to want to see comments. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here. It's units in inches. All that looks good. Tool 2 M6. That's the tool change command. G43H2 feed rate F10. All right, so my feed is set. Let's drop down here. I'm going to go back over to my machine. Oh, I hand wrote this on paper. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say rapid to 0, 1. Okay. I'm going to type those notes that I had. Rapid to 0, 1. I'm going to put this whole thing in, oops, back right there, parentheses, rapid to 0, 1. Okay. Next line. Then I'm going to say lower, oops, keep forgetting, parenthesis, lower pen, close parenthesis. All right. Move to, man, parentheses. Guys, don't let me forget my parentheses. Move to 3, 1, close parentheses. Parenthesis, raise pen, close the parentheses. I know what I want to do now. All right, this might seem tedious, but it is going to save us a lot of time. Raise pen, rapid to 0, 2. All right, rapid to 0, 2. Lower pen again. Lower pen. Move to, what was I? 3, 2. All right. 3, 2 to 3, 2. All right. We're going to raise the pen. Raise pen. Okay, good. And we're going to go down here. I'm going to say rapid 2, 1, comma 3. And I'm going to say I want to lower the pen again. It's all planned out. Okay. Lower the pen. All right. And we're going to say we want to move to 1, 0, comma 0. Then I need to raise the pen. Then I need to rapid 2, 2, comma 3. Guess what I forgot? Let's jump back over here. Put that in there. All right. 2, comma 3. Rapid. Okay. Parenthesis. Lower pen. Very exciting. All right. I hope you guys are typing this along with me. And we're going to do another move to 2, comma 0. Like that. Close my parenthesis. And then I'm going to do another raise pen. And we're going to say go to home position. And we're going to end program. End program. Okay. So if I hadn't sketched this out on paper, I wouldn't have been able to write each one of those commands. This is how I was able to think through all of that. All right. And then, yes, it was a little bit of a problem or tedious, I guess, to go back here and then type them all in like I just did. Right. So maybe it'll work for you to draw the map on paper and then just skip straight to typing the directions step by step, right? The comments in parentheses. Now, once I've written this, I'm like, okay, I know what I need to do. I can go back here. G1, I want to rapid, or I'm sorry, not G1, G0 over to 0, 1. So what I'm going to do is say, my caps lock on, G0, X, 0, Y, 1, space. All right. Now, jump over here. And then I'm going to lower my pen. So I don't want to lower the pen with a rapid. I want to lower the pen at my feed rate. So I'm going to say G1, Z0. My pen's going to come down, the tip touches the surface. Okay, and I'm using a marker. I might even go just a hair past because I want a little bit of pressure on the marker, right? So maybe I'm going to say negative point, oops, it's not where I wanted to put my decimal, 0 point, what do we think, 10 thou, 0, 0, 5, we'll say 5 thou, all right, we'll go 5 thou below the 0 mark. All right, and that'll give me just a little bit of smush on the tip, that felt tip of my Sharpie. Okay. All right. And then I have to draw. So I have to go over to 3, 1. So I'm going to say G1, X3, Y1. All right, you guys. And then I can lift the pen. So I can say G0, Z. Now, how high do I need to lift the pen? And I could lift the pen all the way to the top. Do I need to go to G30 here? All right. Ideally, what we want to do is we want to get just high enough not to leave any marks, not to crash into anything. So I'm going to say Z 0.1. All right, it's going to give us 100 thousandths off the paper. All right, that should be enough, right? If it's not, when we actually run this on the machine, then we'll have to come back and adjust. Okay, next, I'm going to wrap it over to 0, 2. So I'm going to say G0, X, 0, Y, 2. Wrap it over to 0, 2. Now I got to bring my pen down again. So now I'm going to come up here and just copy. Oops, I don't need the comment part. Grab that. Copy that. I'm going to lower my pen. There you go. Put a space back in there. And then I'm going to do another G1. G1 to X. Move to 3, 2. Rapid to 0, 2. Oh, yeah. That's right. 0, 2, 3, 2. Yep. Okay. Forgot which line we're on. Sorry. We're good. X3, Y, 2. All right. So just going to move straight across horizontally. It's at 0, 2. It's going to go to 3, 2. Everything looks good. Except this space right here. All right. The computer's not going to mind spaces. I'm just trying to keep things looking neat and clean so that I can read them. All right, so I'm going to say G0, Z 0.1. All right, bring the pen up. Then we can say G0, X1, Y3. Bring the pen down. And guess what I still have on my clipboard? Paste. Lower the pen. All right, G1, X1, Y0. Then we're going to do G0, Z 0.1, raise the pen back up. And we're going to go G0, wrap it over to 2, 3, X2, Y3, and we're going to lower the pen. Paste that in there again, Z down to 5 thou below the 0. And we got to do a G1 to move over to 2 zeros. So I'll say X2, Y0. And oops, I got an extra space right there. Again, I'm just trying to keep everything looking nice and neat. We'll say G0, Z, what we're doing, 0.1. Space there. Then home position, G28. G28, go to the home position, and into program is going to be M30. Right, that's the command to tell the machine you are done. That's the end of the program. Okay, now if I've done all of that correctly, my machine here will use tool 2, right, and it'll trace out these marks. And so we can actually simulate this using the simulator we've been playing with the past couple of lessons, using the PathPilot hub. We will ultimately put this program into a real machine with a real marker and see if you can draw a hashtag. But before we do that, we're going to make sure we've done these things correctly by simulating them. So I'm going to go to File, Download, and I'm going to say plain text.txt file. So just say download a text file. It's done. Excellent. And I'm going to go back over here into Google Classroom and go to Engineering Design 2 and classwork, and somewhere stream, did I put a PathPilot hub? Milling feeds and speeds, Autodesk. Huh. Maybe I did not. Let's do this. Let's go to PATH PathPilot hub clear screen. Here we go. Hub.PathPilot. There it is. I guess I should put a link in there as well. And then I'm going to say submit. And I'm going to want to upload a file. Oops, I have to choose a file first. Hashtag G-code text. Upload it. Hashtag G-code text. All right, so now if I click on this, it's just going to download me. So what I need to do is create my virtual PathPilot controller. And I'm going to say enter, just as we did before. And the speed of the internet, I'm going to pause the recording while it loads. All right, welcome back. So I paused the recording there while this loaded up, and I've gone ahead and reset the machine and referenced all of the axes. By this point, you guys should know how to do that and be pretty comfortable with it. If you're not, go back and look at the other videos prior to this one, and we'll go over that again. I'm going to skip it for this video for right now. What I will do is go over setting up my zeros again. So I'm going to go to my view options up here. And let's go look at my isometric view. And then we can zoom us out. Oops, that's in. Let me zoom out. Here we are. Okay, and I'm going to attempt to jog my tool all the way to the left side. And in the front, there it is, it's going in the Y. And then I'm going to hold Alt down and drop all the way down, as far down as it'll go. And I'm going to make that bottom left corner right there, where my yellow line ends, you can see right here. Right, that's where I'm going to put my zeros. So I'm going to go ahead and zero my X, zero my Y, and zero my Z. So the machine knows that's where we're going. All right, so next, I have my zeros all set up how I want them to be. And I'm going to go ahead and tell my machine to go to G30. So it's going to raise its Z all the way back up. You can see that little piece moving in there, simulate the spindle. All right, then go back over here to G code. I'm going to click here, say clear the current program. And there we go. We keep the offsets, but I got rid of the lines. So I have a fresh start. Oops, zoom out again. Next, I'm going to go over here to File. And I will see right here my hashtag G-code text that I just uploaded. So I'm going to click on that. And when I click on it, it shows me a preview, and I can edit it right here if I want to, right? I don't want to edit this, so what I'm going to do is just hit the copy button with this arrow pointing to the left. And what that's going to do is copy it over to the machine's memory, which is this window right here on the left side of your screen. I'm going to click on hashtag G-code in there and go up here and press load G-code. And that should, it says bad character 357 in units inches. Interesting. What had happened to my program? Okay, so we got an error. Let's go back over here. Units G20 inches. That should be all a comment. G20. Wait, let me go back. That's all right. So I got some troubleshooting to do. Units equal used in units equal G20 inches. All right, let's go back and actually, you know what we can do? Good opportunity then to go to File. And I have clicked here, and I'm going to go over here and say edit that G-code. We'll just take that line of text out. It doesn't seem to like it. Okay, good. It has the rest of it there. So, oops. Take all of that out. There we go. And we can say save. And close. And then it says it changed. Do you want to reload it? Yes, I do. Say okay. See what happens this time. We get an error or if it lets us play. Okay, so we seem to be in good shape here. All right, and so a couple of things about running our program. We can see, right, all of our text here. Can scroll down through the program. Our program's not particularly long, so it's easy to look at. Right, we can turn on single block. And if I do this, every time I press cycle start, it's going to execute only one line at a time, right? And so what we do, I'll show you this, is I press cycle start, all right, and you can see it's blinking at me. So I'm going to press cycle start again, and it jumps down here, and it says, okay, it's on the line G17. The machine's like, yep, got it. It's waiting for me to press cycle start again. G90, okay, got it. All right, jumped all the way down to tool 2. That's strange, but all right. It likes to make me look bad when I'm recording these things. Press cycle start again, and now you'll see, aha! So the machine is going to tell you, wait a minute, it says down here that there's no tool in my spindle, and you're telling me to use tool 2. I need you to put tool 2 in the spindle, okay? If you are running this program on our Tormach, which at the moment does not have an automatic tool changer, you will really see this message in real life. If you are running this program on one of our Haas mills that has an automatic tool changer, you will not see this message. It will go to the tool umbrella and pull out the appropriate tool that you have asked it to get, as long as you have installed your tools correctly and have things set up correctly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off single block. We're going to pretend that we just put our tool in the spindle. We've verified it's ready to go, and I'm going to go ahead here and press cycle start. A little bit of a delay. We should see our tool. There you go. Why is it waiting again? Go. Hashtag G-code, cycle time, runtime, linear move on line 23, exceed x-axis, negative limit by, oh my gosh. It doesn't like where I put my offsets. Okay. So what this is telling me is I'm asking the tool to go out here outside of where it can actually move. Okay. So this came up because this blue box on your screen, whoa, the zoom thing is hard when there's a lag. All right, represents the tool's limits. Well, my command says that the tool is supposed to drop down at, I thought it was X0, which should be the center of the tool, center of the spindle right here on the edge. So how I'm going to get around this is as such. I'm going to take what I've drawn and I'm just going to jog X over to, let's get it to be, about 2, maybe say 3 inches over. Let's go G0X3. G0X3. Bam, so I can go to X3. And then we might as well move the Y up an inch. G0Y1. Just to make sure we don't run into that same problem. And now watch very closely. You can see where my tool's hovering up here in space. All right, because I haven't changed my Z0 point. I'm going to change my X and Y zeros. So if you see the origin right there on the screen, the red and green lines, and I'm going to say 0x, and you'll see the origin jump over, and everything moves. And then I'm going to say 0y, and you're going to see it jump up an inch in the y direction to match up. So I have a new 0 point. Okay, that way we're not trying to tell it to move outside of the perimeter of this big rectangular prism here. Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to turn this off so it doesn't pause, and Say cycle start, and now it's on lower pin, and we're going to go at that really painfully slow feed rate all the way from the top, 10 inches a minute. And we actually have, you can see right here, it says distance to go 6 inches. So it is going to take almost a minute to get down there this first time, right? Because we're using such a short tool at such a low feed rate. I feel like I should play the Jeopardy music right now. This gives us plenty of time to verify and say, oh, wait, I have a question. Is it going to land in the right spot? I'm going to click feed hold. All right, feed hold is our friend on our machines. It just tells the machine, hey, pause. And then I can go in here, zoom in on my machine. Move this over a little bit, clicking the center button. Look, verify. Oh yeah, okay, that looks good. It is going to land in the correct spot that I wanted it to land. All right, we're good. Continue. I'll just click on cycle start. Here comes my tool. Well, there it goes. Just trucking across. Drawing my red line. And then it's going to lift up. I'm going to wrap it over. Wow, that was fast. And it's going to draw my other line. There we go. Here it goes. Draws the fourth line. So very excited. I am actually very, very excited. I can barely contain myself. I'm like, what do I do here? I hope you guys find this as fascinating as I do. And there it is. It rapids away to its G28 home position. Bam. It's done. Program is over. There's my hashtag drawn, right? And then I can go right click, say, give me the top view. Boom. There's my hashtag, right? And you can see I start my lines over here at the X0. They end at the Y0, right? The whole thing is 3 inches tall. If I zoom out, I bet we'll see it's 3 inches wide, just the way I planned it out on my paper, right? Is my grid. Oops, am I on the 1 inch grid? 1.5 inch grid. So we should see 6 grid lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there we go. All right, so there's my hashtag, just like that. Okay, so now, after you guys have done your simulation, you've run all of that, here's what I want you to submit for my review. You're going to do a screen grab. So I'm going to do control that button. Oh, of course, I have 2 monitors up and it copied the one I didn't want. So let me try control shift. There we go. So I'm going to just snap a quick photo, capture, go back over here to my Google Doc, go down here to the end, paste that in there so I can see it. 3 inches, 3 inches. All right, all looks good. Then you're going to go over here to Google Classroom, classwork, and I'm going to create the assignment for you right now. It's going to say, oops, I'm still going caps lock. Program a hashtag using G-code. All right. And then you're going to submit your assignment to this, and it's going to be due tomorrow, the 17th. No topic. I'm going to put it under subplans since I won't be there. In the future, I'll move it. You know what? Let me create a quick rubric to go with this. Completed. Oh man. Completed. Let's try that again. There we go. That looks better. Completed. All right. 10 points. Complete. Or 6 points. Revise. Or 0 points. Not turned in. There we go. All right, save. Then subplans. All right, so if you're looking at this way in the future, this is like a little window into the past. This topic may eventually, I'm going to move these things down to put them under the writing with G code topic. But to make it easy for you guys while I'm not there, it'll be right here, because you need to make sure you've done all of this stuff before you attempt to do this thing right here. All right. Oh yeah, you should have gotten this done today. It's officially due tomorrow. All right, and then I'm going to post one more assignment in here for you. It's going to have a separate video, so I'll see you there.